Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram, moviepilot.com, or YouTube itself. What up, world? So, a couple days ago, I saw Resident Evil, the final chapter. It is the last movie, supposedly, in the Resident Evil franchise, which is now 6 movies strong. It stars Mila Jovovich. Y'all know I can't pronounce. Ali Larter, Ruby Rose, Ian Glenn, Sean Roberts, and it's directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who has directed movies like the 1995 Mortal Kombat, Event Horizon, the original Resident Evil, Alien vs. Predator, Resident Evil Afterlife, and Retribution. And he's done a couple other movies too, man. Man, obviously no shout out question because it's the weekend's past. You got Alice, and they say that this one starts 10 years after the original outbreak started, which I think they said the same thing in Retribution. She's still in Washington, D.C., because that's where she was at the end of Retribution. She gets a message, and it basically takes her back to Raccoon City, and it's do or die, life or death for the entire what's left of the human race or whatever. Being the last movie, the stakes have to be insanely catastrophic, right? She links up with another crew because she has a crew in every movie. That's where she reunites with Ali Larter, who what's her name, Claire Redfield, who wasn't in Retribution. Ruby Rose is part of the crew, and then there's some other dudes in there, William Levy, among others. And I mean, they have to go back to the hive and try to save what's left of the world. I don't know, man. If you guys fuck with me on Letterboxd, I've already did my review for that. I said there that going in, but man, I'm looking at this like man, this is the best Resident Evil movie since Apocalypse. The first one is the best of the series, arguably, in my opinion, one of the best video game movies ever. With the original Mortal Kombat, and you could maybe throw the first Tomb Raider in there as like the only contenders. The story's simple. Go here, do this, save the world. I always want to call them walkers because I watched The Walking Dead, but the zombies, they were simple. There were no tentacles, there were no mutations, there were no abnormalities coming out of their mouths trying to eat anybody's face off. And like there were no like insanely mutated creatures in this one either. There's one creature who looks cool, and I mean it gives us a good fight scene. Yeah, but they're like the executioner, the dogs where the heads split apart, the zombies where their heads split apart. There's none of that. Those creatures kind of take me out of the movies because I don't know if they're in the games or not. I'm not a big gamer. I've played maybe one or two Resident Evil games way back when I was like maybe 14. And I think I remember the creature that has like the two brains coming out of his head. Um but yeah, like the creature's cool. It provides a good fight scene. I think that the action was serviceable. Like there's when other directors, like I want to say the dude who directed like Eraser and The Mask, Scorpion King, he's one of the best directors in this series, probably the best director in this series. I didn't like the way his action was cut. And then Paul W.S. Anderson comes back for the last 2 movies, Afterlife and Retribution, and he just didn't come with the same vibe that he come with in the first movie. He was kicking more style over substance, if you ask me. And he took it back to the first movie for the most part in the final chapter. Like I said in my Triple X review, man, I still don't have Ruby Rose Overkill. But maybe by John Wick. I mean, Ali Larter was good. Um, Mila Jovovich, man, she is Alice by now, man. She is this character. She knows how to play her. She plays her the same way in every movie, and by now you know what you're gonna get from her performance. I didn't really notice any bad effects or anything like that, but there's a twist at the end. Toward the end of the movie, they give this plot twist that made me rethink the entire series. It's like if this is this, then why did this happen all the way back in the first movie? You're doing this now and it doesn't make sense for the rest of the series. And that's why my rating is what my rating is, along with some insanely laid on over the top acting by Ian Glenn, man. Daenerys' love slave from Game of Thrones, who, I mean, he was in like the second movie, man. He's been in the series. He might even been in the third movie too. The villains give some super cheesy performances. So with all that being said, in my opinion, I will say that Resident Evil, the final chapter, is straight and a half. So have you seen Resident Evil, the final chapter, man? What did you think of it, man? Best of the series, worst of the series, somewhere in the middle? I still stand by, even with the twist, I still stand by it's the best movie since Apocalypse. So I would put it third. And then, because I've never really dug Extinction. For maybe it's the desert setting. I don't know why. Like, Extinction is okay, and then Afterlife is okay, man. It's like I like it a little less than Extinction, and they're like Retribution to me is a throwaway. Retribution to me is completely pointless. All it does is set up the last movie. Tag me in your ticket stubs, no matter what you watching, no matter what's come out, man. I'm just curious to know what y'all watching. I don't usually do these middle of the week reviews, but you know, like I said in my review for La La Land, man, y'all know why this one's late. Justice League Dark comes out next week, and that'll be another middle of the week review. I'm gonna see Lego Batman and John Wick next weekend. This weekend I'm not watching shit. Then the last weekend in February, I want to see Get Out. Get Out looks so crazy. I hope Jordan Peele does a good job. And as far as my February movie talk, my January movie talk is my most anticipated list. I think I want to do like my 10 current favorite directors for February, my February movie talk. I've recently posted reviews for La La Land. I've recently posted reviews for Live by Night, Split, Triple X, Underworld, Patriots Day. Check those out. Blu-ray collection update. Me and some of my boys, we're going to give our Super Bowl predictions here pretty soon too. I guess when they decide to release Resident Evil A New Beginning, we'll talk about this series again. That was a Friday the 13th joke for you guys that didn't pick up what I was putting down. Like, subscribe, comment, man. Find me where you find me. Don't know where to find me, man. Watch them credits. Peace.